Hey, you. Thanks for being here. Today's episode is going to be a real one, and I want to jump right into this. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about some unpopular opinion, some opinion that goes against the grain. I just left the gym with my son, and it sparked this thought. But I want to say this. For you to reach your next level, I believe that you got to check your expectations. Because for most people, and this is what I see is true, most people have this protection mechanism of low expectations. There's a famous saying, right? If you don't want to be let down, don't have high expectations. Like, I get that to an extent, but I want to call BS. Flag on the play. Because this is what I know is true. If you have low expectations, you'll never reach the level that you're supposed to reach. And some of us, the reason why we're at where we're at is because we have low expectations because we don't want to be let down. But my rebuttal to that is this. Are you not letting yourself down by not having high expectations? Shouldn't you want more for your life? Shouldn't you want more for others in your life? Shouldn't you want more from your job? Shouldn't you want more from your dream? The truth is, some of you are playing too small. And when you play small, you get small things. Some of you are around small mindsets to protect yourself. Some of you are doing small things to protect yourself. Some of you are planning small to protect yourself. Some of you are vision casting small to protect yourself because it's a protection mechanism. Listen to me. It's a protection mechanism to protect your self-worth, to protect your self-esteem. So if I achieve this thing, even though I know I'm capable for more, even though I know that I was made to do more and be more, even though I know I should raise the stakes, even though I know this isn't really pushing me, I'm just getting by, living this passive lifestyle by just checking off the box, but I'm gonna feel good about myself because I completed this, because I didn't fail, because I accomplished this, even though I know I had more in the tank, even though I know I had more effort to give, even though I know I'm giving bare minimum, but I'm gonna feel good about myself. Is that not letting yourself down? Is that not letting those around you down that really depend on you to elevate your life and change your life? The thing that I know is true when it comes to the purpose mindset, and you're gonna hear me talk about purpose mindset a lot. I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. I know we're in Protect Your Peace season, but I'm gonna go ahead and just say this. That's my next book, The Purpose Mindset. Because I believe that's the mindset that changes your life. That's the mindset that changed my life. The purpose mindset says this and teaches this. The one that doesn't expect failure, but embraces it, will always succeed. I'm gonna say this again. The one that doesn't expect failure, but always embraces it, is the one that will always succeed. I'm gonna tell you a quick story that symbolizes this to the T. But before we get into that story, some of you listening to this, the reason why you're not at where you should be is because your expectations are too damn low. Yes, the expectations of yourself, the expectations of others, and I get it. You might be let down. Congratulations. Sometimes being let down is the thing that changes your life. Sometimes being let down is a thing that lifts you up. Sometimes being let down is the things that elevate you, that changes your mindset, that gives you a different perspective. I can tell you right now, in sports, when I let down my teammates, because there's times that I did lead down my teammates, whether I took a rep off at practice, whether I overslept for a practice, whether that happened very rarely, but or whether I didn't prepare properly or whether I dropped the pass, like me letting down my teammates, I never wanted to feel that feeling again, ever. Me letting down people in my life because I'm not a perfect human being, and I want you to think about your life. Think about the times when you let somebody down and how that made you feel. Maybe you had high expectations for yourself. Maybe somebody let you down. How did that make you feel? I'm sure you never wanted to feel that feeling again, ever. But a lot of us, we're trying to protect our self-worth. We're trying to protect our self-esteem. We're trying to protect our ego, because it is ego. by having these small expectations because we don't want to be let down. Are you not letting yourself down by cheating yourself? Are you not letting yourself down by living a lifestyle of just getting by when you know you can do more and be more and achieve more? Are you not letting those around you down by you half-assing your life? And excuse my French, are you not letting your kids down by not giving your all? Are you not letting your spouse down, letting your significant other down by not giving your all because you have these low expectations for yourself, low expectations for everybody around you? Again, you've been addicted to small-minded, small things, small visions, small dreams, small goals, small accountability. But you want major things to happen in your life. You got to make it make sense, right? We do all these small things. We don't raise the ceiling in our life. We just do things to get by, but yet we want to be legendary. But yet we want to be the one that people look up to. But yet we want to be rewarded for the more that we didn't put in. Let's be real. Some of you listen to me right now, the main problem in your life is simply this. You have no high expectations of yourself. And high expectations is everything. I'm going to read this to you right quick. I'm going to read some quotes that are not mine. I'm going to read this to you because I want you to understand this right now. This is by Michelangelo, not the Ninja Turtle, the artist. The greater danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low in achieving our mark. So basically what he's saying is this. I'm going to put it in straight up terms. Some of you got some low goals and you hitting those goals. And that's the most dangerous things that you can do. When you know that you made for more, that you're capable for more. But a lot of us, we're afraid to freaking fail, man. We're afraid to let ourselves down. Go let yourself down. Go try something and don't succeed at it. Good, congratulations. That's the next step to your journey. That's the next step to your next level. That's the next step to your elevation. I was just at the gym this morning. Let me tell you this story to illustrate this. Me and my son in the wintertime, because it's too cold in our garage gym, we go to the gym, right? We get our gym membership. I call it separation season. By the way, you should have a separation season in your life where you separate, right, from your former self to the self that you want to be. From those around you that's chilling, that have low expectations, low vibrations, because low expectations leads to low vibrations that leads to a lesser life. I really believe that wholeheartedly. But separation season is we're going to do the uncommon thing. So for my son being 15 years old, it is uncommon to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. And by the way, it's my greatest accountability system. You know why? Because I don't want to let my son down. I don't. Not in that way. I want to stay loyal to what I told him we going to do. If I let him down, I wanted to be letting him down by doing something astronomical that I don't actually make happen, but I try my best. Because this is what I'll tell you, and I'll get back to the story for a moment. This is on my heart to say this. Which one is better for your life? And this goes with that quote. Would you rather do something that's easy for you to do and succeed at it, that doesn't challenge you, right? That doesn't stretch you and you succeed at it? Or would you rather do something that seems impossible, that do something that seems uncommon, that's a high expectation, and maybe you don't succeed fully at it, but you make progress at it? Which one you think makes you better? And I know it's common sense, but which one you think makes you better? One that you succeeded at, everybody clap for you, but you know you barely pushed yourself? Or the one that maybe you look like a failure, but yet you actually made more progress than the thing that you quote unquote succeeded at? I'll tell you right now, in my life, the reason that I'm here right now, being one of the biggest motivational speakers in the world, by having a huge platform, over 16 million followers, supporters, I call them community, rehabbers across the world, thank you so much for your support. Over 20 million some downloads, probably 30 million at this point on this podcast. The reason I got here is because I stretched myself. The reason I got here is because I set a freaking unrealistic high expectation for my life. When I first started this 14 years ago, I'm living in my unrealistic high expectation. What if I would have set my aim too small, going based upon what I think I can accomplish? But I didn't just base my goals and my vision off what I think I can accomplish, because most of us, our greatest limitation is us. We set our vision and we cast our vision based upon our past experiences. I didn't want to do that. I set the wildest, unrealistic, high expectation for myself. And I showed up day in and day out, and I did it. And now I'm actually living in my high expectation. So for some of you, it's time to get unrealistic. I'm not telling you to be oblivious and set some stuff that you know is definitely not going to happen and be untrue, because you got to face your reality in order to change. But some of you need to set some quote unquote unrealistic expectations for your life. Because I believe in setting unrealistic expectations and still being true to it, not being oblivious, but being true to it, to go push yourself and achieve it. I still think you're going to go further than some realistic expectations that you know you can achieve in your sleep. But let me get back to my story. We're at the gym, me and Trist. And number one, I'm proud of my son, because we walked in here in the gym, and you know what the first trainer said to him? He said, "Hey man, like, you doing this before school?" And the trainer looked around and said, "Dang, ain't nobody here your age." I smiled at Tristan, because I've been telling him since he was a little kid, if you want a common dream, because it's common to make it to the NFL, it's common to be a top high school player. Everybody wants to. It's common to be a D1, D2, whatever, play college football. It's common because everybody wants to do that. If you want a common dream, you got to put in uncommon work. You got to be relentless in being uncommon, because guess what? That common dream isn't a common reality. Everybody has the dream. Everybody dreams of those things. But guess what? It's uncommon to actually achieve those dreams. So I said, wherever environment you go to, look around. If you're the only one in a positive environment, that's where you want to be. So this morning, we did a workout together. And by the way, he's my greatest accountability, because I don't want to let him down in a negative way, right? I want to maybe let him down in a positive way where I'm trying to do something like crazy for him and I don't achieve it. But even in then, I'm not really letting him down. But he's my greatest accountability, because I don't want to let my son down. So guess what? When I'm tired at 5 a.m., it's easier for me to get up because I'm the example for him. I want to be the example. When I'm working out, I work out harder when I'm with him, because I know he's watching my every move. I want to show him the purpose mindset. I want to show him unrelentless effort. I want to show him determination. I want to show him what being resilient looks like, so he can learn from me, not just by my words, but by my actions. So we do this workout, do a lot of body weight stuff, etc. Then we go to bench press. We go to bench press, and this is at the end of the workout, so I know Tristan's arms are tired, right? Tristan has like huge legs like me. His upper body's still a little small, but he's strong as heck. And we get under the bench press. And I promise you, this has a point, and we'll get back to these other points. It's going to shift your mindset when it comes to having high expectations. We get into the bench press, and I can see it in his eyes. He was expecting failure. He set the bar low for himself. In his mind, man, I've done all these push-ups. It's the end of the workout. Like, this weight is already kind of hard for me. I'm not going to get it. I can tell this was the story. This was the internal dialogue that was going on in his mind. So I spot him. He lifts up the weight off the bar. He goes down, and he goes down expecting failure. I can just tell. He was expecting not to push the bar back up. And I know for some of you, you're not lifting weights, but how many in your life are expecting to fail? How many of you in your life are expecting for it not to succeed? Tristan goes down, and guess what? That weight doesn't come back up. And I have to help him back up and spot him. I turn him around, I say, hey, the legendary mindset, that quote that I told you at first, I said, the legendary mindset, Tris, right? We don't expect failure. You're expecting failure. So guess what? You're going to fail. Your expectations are low for yourself right now. I said, raise the damn bar. You're going to lift this bar by raising the bar. Raise your expectations right now. We're going to shift our mind, because he knows, because he's been around daddy for 15 years and he's heard me. He heard me preach. He knows I live this. I said, hey, what you keep telling yourself is what will happen. Your mindset, he already finished. Mindset is the most powerful thing that we have. Yes, your mind, a made up mind, is the most powerful thing in the world, son. You already made up your mind before you got under this bar that you weren't going to lift it. There was doubt. I need full confidence. If we fail, we'll deal with that when we get there. And I said, the one who doesn't expect failure but embrace it will always succeed. I said, expect success right now. Expect it, because you giving your all is success. That's our bar. That's how we measure ourselves by. We don't measure ourselves by the outcome. We measure ourselves by the effort. That's having high expectations, son. So this next rep in my mind, I'm like, man, he gonna struggle with it. But I saw his demeanor change. I saw his focus change. I saw his intent change. I saw his hunger change. He got into the bar and I saw it. He was expecting to succeed. He goes down, he lifts it, a different approach as he went down. I saw success. Make a long story short, he did that rep. That rep was supposed to be harder than the first one. That rep was not supposed to be successful if the first one wasn't successful. But he succeeded. You know why? Because he raised the bar of expectation in his life. And that's what I want for you. Some of you are under some weight. Not necessarily physical weight, but emotional weight. And some of you are just waiting for the thing to fail. I talked about this last week. You're waiting for the thing to go wrong. You're waiting for the thing to mess up. And so you've been protecting yourself by having low expectations. Maybe it's in your relationship. All your past relationships have been bad. So your present relationship, which you're being unfair to the one that you're with, you're expecting it to work, not to work out. You're having low expectations for yourself, for her, for him. You're having low expectations. You're expecting at some point to go wrong. How is that mindset going to lead to legendary? How is that mindset going to lead to next level? That's not the purposeful mindset. That's not the purpose mindset. That's the pitiful mindset. You're so afraid to be let down. As I told him, listen, if Tristan would have met failure, great. It's okay, son. You expected success, but you met failure. That is life. Oh, man, this is deep. That's life. But you expected to win, but you met a loss. It's okay, because guess what? That failure is feedback. That loss is feedback. It's okay. But we can't start ourselves behind the 8 ball. We can't lose before we even try to fight. We can't lose before we even try to succeed. That is mission impossible. So if you meet failure and give it your all, it's okay, because guess what? It gives us feedback. I want to talk about this real quick. I want to say with Sam Walton, let me give you this quote from Sam Walton. He says, high expectations are the key to everything. And I definitely agree. High expectations lead to high elevation. Write that down. High expectations lead to high elevation. Ralph Mortson says this: don't lower your expectations. Oh man, this is what we just talked about with Tristan. Don't lower your expectations to meet your performance. Okay? That's being safe. It's playing it small. Don't lower your expectations to meet your performance. Raise your level of performance to meet your expectations. Right? Like, how is that true for you? Have you been literally lowering your expectations to meet your performance? Oh, this is all that I got. This is who I am. I made up my mind. This is who I am. This is just how it is. Or can you raise the bar in your life and say, you know what? I'm going to find a way to meet that greatest me. I'm going to find a way to meet the next level of me. I'm going to find a way to raise the performance in my life, to live the life I deserve to live. Not the life I'm accepted to live, not the life that my past forced me to live, but I'm going to go get the life that I was made to live. And yes, it's going to take work. Yes, it's going to take raising the bar in your life. Yes, it's going to take meeting failure. Yes, it's going to take embracing it. Yes. But some of us, we have literally lowered our expectations and be like, this is who I am. I hear it all the time. This is who I am. This is just me. I've always been a failure. Nothing's ever going to change. And you have that piss poor mindset. And I'm sorry to say that word, but it's just true. You have the piss poor mindset. And a piss poor mindset doesn't change your life. It doesn't. Let me tackle these right quick. I want to talk about 3 things that having high expectations does for you. Okay, number 1, It strengthens your drive, okay? It strengthens your drive. And what I mean by this is when you set the bar higher, when you push yourself, people call it stretch goals, that stretches you, right? When you do something uncomfortable, when you do something that seems impossible, number one, I think that is top tier confidence builder. When you do something that you've never done before, whoo, you talk about a shot of confidence, you talk about a confidence booster, you talk about a self-esteem high, a self-esteem changer, a self-worth shifter. It is that. It increases your drive because once you achieve more, you want more in a positive way. Once you achieve more, you know that you're made for more. Once you achieve more, you're like, man, what can't I do? I tell you that on the process of change, that process of going, can I do this, to shifting over time in that journey to get to the point, man, like, what can I do? That's the confidence builder. It increases your drive. Like when the stakes are higher, it boosts your self-confidence and your self-esteem. When you consistently, I want to read this to you. When you consistently meet or surpass challenging goals, you gain a sense of accomplishment and belief in your capabilities. This increased confidence can spill over. I always say confidence is contagious. It's contagious. That's why you got to prove it to yourself. If you become confident in one area of your life, then more than likely, you're going to be confident in different areas of your life. Facts. This increased confidence can spill over into other areas of your life, empowering you to tackle even more ambitious endeavors. That's when you get to the mindset of, what can't I do? And I'm going to be real with you. That's the mindset that has served my life. So when somebody gives me a lofty, that seems impossible task or a goal, unrealistic, high expectation, I love it. I love it because I know I can achieve it. I know the only one that can stop me is me. I know the greatest enemy is me. That's it. I make up my mind and say, we gonna go figure this out. We gonna go see if it's possible. And for some of you ain't even went to go see if it's possible. You just accepting that it's not. For some of you, you need to literally go see if it's possible. Oh, I can't live without this person. Go see if it's possible. Oh, this is just, I can't lose this weight, or I can't gain this weight. I can't do better in my health. Go see if it's possible. It's that low expectations that lead to low vibrations that's causing you to live a lesser life. Okay, so number one, having high expectations increases your drive. Number two, okay, having high expectations it builds your resilience. Okay, resilience is every freaking thing, especially emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is being resilient to your emotions that says, I'm not enough, I want to quit. All the negative emotions that hinder you, you're resilient to it. You're resistant to those emotions. You're resistant to the things that don't serve your life. You're resistant to the things that shift your mind into the negative. You're resistant to that. And those that I know that live at a high level, those that I know that have a purpose mindset, those that I know that make it happen, which is going to be you if it's not you, you become very resistant to the things that don't serve your life. You become very resistant to the things that don't help your life. You become very resistant to the things that don't push your life. You become very resistant to the things that have no purpose in your life. Having high expectations, it increases resilience. I want to read this to you. Setting high expectations and achieving them, okay, can have a positive impact on your overall well-being. The sense of purpose and fulfillment that comes from striving for and reaching challenging goals can lead to even greater happiness and satisfaction in life. It provides a sense of direction and meaning, which can contribute to a higher quality life. I know this might seem very insensitive, but I believe this is true. The quality of your life often is predicated on the quality of your expectations. I want you to write that down. The quality of your life is often a reflection of the quality of your expectations. I can tell you from experience, being a person that's been on both sides of the fence. The life that I live right now is a direct reflection of the life that I've expected to live, that I've pushed myself to live, that I've pushed myself to believe. Now, it takes more than just believing. It takes more than just vision casting. You got to put in the work consistently, be committed to it, have that purpose-driven mindset. But the quality of my life reflects the quality of my expectations. Like, I expect more from myself. Like, I expect to show up. This is episode 200 something of this podcast. I have thousands of videos. Like, you don't get to that level without having high expectations. And having those high expectations and going to seek those expectations and not allowing the failure in those expectations to determine my self-worth. And I embrace the failure because failure is nothing but feedback. That has allowed me to continue to grow, continue to elevate, continue to achieve, continue to push forward. And the quality of my life has changed. I'm not talking about the external things. I'm talking about the internal things. The external follows suit too, but the internal quality of my life, how I feel about myself, how I believe in myself, when I face challenging times, how I approach that and embrace that, it's changed. Because my expectations of me are higher. I expect to get through it. I expect to overcome. Yes, when mama died, when I went through my hard season, I knew I was gonna get out that season. I knew I had to go through the season, but I knew I was gonna get out that season. I knew I was gonna bounce back. Me being in shape right now, I know I'm gonna bounce back. You know what I mean? Me getting to I believe in myself like that. Because if I don't believe in me, who else is gonna believe in me? If you don't believe in you, who else is gonna do it? And some of you, can I be real? You waiting. Y'all know I love to talk about the three types of people: the watcher, wisher, and worker. But some of you, and I can even put the waiter in there as a bonus. You waiting. You waiting on somebody to believe, and you waiting on somebody to do it for you. You waiting on somebody to have higher expectations for you than you have for yourself. That is ASS backwards. It all starts with you. That's not just a cliche statement. That's a lifestyle statement. That's a reality statement. That's a true statement. It starts with you. So number 2 was simply that, right? It builds resilience. And number 3, you become the inspiration, okay? And before I get into this, I want to just talk about having high expectations. Like, it increases your decision making. Decision making is everything. I always say the purpose mindset tells us if it holds no purpose in it, I'm not going to be a part of it. If it holds no purpose in it, free me from it. If it holds no purpose in it, I'm not going to be around it. I am going to do purpose, be around purpose, live purpose, breathe purpose. Everything I do is purpose. When I wake up, I'm thinking about purpose. I wake up, I stretch, I yawn. Oh, okay, where's the purpose at? Everything I do is purpose. And I literally I program myself literally with this question: what purpose does this hold? What purpose does this hold? So it increases my decision making. Okay, listen to this. High expectations can lead to better decision making. When you set lofty goals, you are forced to think critically, plan deliberately, and consider various options and strategies to achieve them. So what is it doing when you raise expectations, right? Now you're forced to think different. You're forced to figure things out because, listen, I know this is common sense, but you got to understand this. Some of us, we want different without doing anything different. And it's facts. I see it all the time. I see the desire to want different, but you're not dedicated to do anything different. I see the choice to want different, but you're not committed to do anything different. Like, we want things to change, but we don't want to change. So this increases your decision making, right? Now, having high expectations, I got to think different, right? I got to plan different. Oh, in order to get to a place I've never been, I gotta get to a place in myself that I've never discovered yet. One of my most popular quotes right now is, your next level is not about climbing higher. For some of you, it's about diving deeper. So how can I dive deeper to figure out who I am even more? To become more familiar, to find something inside of me that I didn't know exist. And pull that out of me so I can become better, so I can reach levels that man, I might not have thought was possible or capable. Okay, this process helps raise the stakes, right? High stakes decisions can sharpen your problem solving skills and improve your ability to take risks and see rewards effectively, right? So you're able to, man, okay, this risk right here, this reward right here, I understand what this risk is going to pay off. I understand why I got to do this because I understand what the reward is going to bring. And I'll throw this in here and I'll finish this episode up. I hope you're getting something from here, man, because this to me is a life-changing episode if you really understand this and you really shift. You really break that freaking mindset of like, oh, you know, if you have high expectations of people, whatever, you're going to let yourself down, right? Don't have unrealistic expectations of people, right? And again, sometimes we got to have, it's tricky, right? It's a fine line. Sometimes we got to have unrealistic expectations of those that we know can better themselves, right? Because some of you are thinking a person's going to be something they're never going to become. I'm not saying being oblivious, having oblivious expectations, dumb expectations that are definitely never going to happen, not be true. But sometimes we need to have unrealistic expectations of our kids, right? Not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Like, how can we help them see more than what they're choosing to see within themselves, right? How can I see within myself more than what I'm actually seeing? Like, how can I stretch? How can I elevate? How can I push? Let me read this. High expectations helps create continuous learning. Okay. High expectations often rewards continuous learning and skill development. To meet and exceed these expectations, you must constantly seek knowledge, acquire new skills. That is very important, y'all. If you want to go to new levels, you got to get new skills, man. It just works like that. I see speakers all the time that say, Trent, I want to be at the level of speaking that you're at, but they don't want to acquire the skills that it takes to get there. Again, that is mission impossible. You're setting yourself up for failure in those moments. Okay? Acquire new skills and stay up to date with industry trends. I like to say industry standards. This commitment to learning can result in a more adaptable and knowledgeable mindset, which can be invaluable in a rapidly changing world. Right? When you're able to adapt, adaptation is another key to your elevation. When you're able to adapt to circumstances and situations, you become unstoppable. But I want to go back to point number 3 as we wrap this up. When you have high expectations of yourself and you live that high expectation life, meaning that you expect more from yourself, you become a leader so you can expect more from others. You can push others because they see it in you. They know you're not just preaching something you're not practicing or not trying to better. You become the inspiration, y'all. The reason that you listen to this podcast is because I became the inspiration, first to myself and then to others. But it's because you guys know that I wholeheartedly try my best to push myself. You know that I'm doing the work behind the scenes. You can see it. You can feel it. You see the confidence. But that's the work I'm putting in off camera, the things that you don't see. And I'm proving it to myself. But having high expectations helps you become the inspiration. Like, people respect people with high expectations of themselves, with high standards of themselves. You inspire people by that. When you see a person that's doing it, when you see a person that is staying loyal to what they said they were going to do, when you see a person that's going out to go get it, when you see a person that casts a vision and they work towards that vision till they achieve it, that's where the inspiration is. It's not just the words. It's not just quotes that you post online. When you see the person that lives it, breathes it, bees it, when you live it, breathe it, be it, LBB, that RehabTime lifestyle, that rehabber lifestyle, that purpose mindset, you become the inspiration. Because you have raised the bar in your own life. You raised the standard. People know you're not going to lower your standard to be around low vibration. They know that. They know they're not going to lower your standards to meet them at their level. But you're there to help and say, hey, I'm not going to lower my standards, but I can tell you how to get to mine. I can tell you how to get to this level. Raise the expectations in your life. And have actions that follow that raised expectation. Have commitment that follow that raised expectation. Have a standard that follows that raised expectation. And that's how change is created. So as we wrap this episode up, I gotta ask you, where's your expectation? I gotta ask you to check your expectation. Are you keeping it low to protect yourself? Are you keeping it low so you don't let yourself down? But are you really letting yourself down? By not raising the bar of expectation in your life. By not being the person that you know you can become. That you know you were made to be. That you know you should be. That you know you have to be. I think that's the greatest letdown on this world, is living a life of settling. Because settling leads to suffering. And low expectations of yourself is settling. So you know what's coming in your near future. Suffering. You know what suffering leads to? Negative suffering, should I say? Is regret. And regret is the greatest poison that a soul could ever face. So I want you to spend time today to check your expectation and ask yourself, man, how can I raise the standard? How can I expect more from myself? How can I trust myself? Right? How can I trust myself? How can I have that mindset of, man, I'm not expecting to fail, but I'm going to embrace it if it happens. And when it happens, it's not going to have no impact on my self-esteem, because I know this is just part of the journey in order to succeed, in order to get where I want to go. It's just part of the journey. When you get that mindset, that purpose mindset, that's when everything in your life shifts. That's when you become unstoppable. Raise the bar, have high expectations, and go live the life that was meant for you to live. But like I tell you at the end of every single episode, it all starts with you. Make the world respect your greatness by raising your expectations. It's rehab time. Let's get it. Straight up. Share this, like this, leave your comments. I appreciate you.